How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Discmania MD5. The MD5, when it first dropped in 2018, was a fairly popular overstable mid-range. It featured a beaded profile and the rim of the disc was very blunt. It had a very flat edge to it. The most popular variant was probably the not so swirly S-line because of how overstable it was. Taking a look at the new MD5, Discmania has moved to a beadless design. It features a very flat top and fits comfortably in my hand on a forehand grip. It's debuting in the new C-line metal flake plastic, which I have been loving in my FD3s. The feel in the hand is quite different than the old MD5, mainly because of the removal of the bead on the disc. Today I'll be comparing it against the old MD5, the Mutant, and the Tactic. So let's check it out. So starting off, we're going to be throwing these discs flat with a little bit of hyzer angle with a nice comfortable amount of power. You can see the razor claw going a little further than the Mutant here, but both the old MD5 and the new MD5 are a little bit faster or have a little bit more glide, and you can see they go a little bit further at the same amount of power. Throwing these discs on a forehand, flat to a little bit of anhyzer. You can see that razor claw really likes to keep things nice and tight in a straight line versus the Mutant really not wanting to turn over almost at all. The MD5 has a little bit more side-to-side action than the Razor Claw 3, and same with the new MD5. I threw this one on a little bit more angle, but you can see still similar left-to-right movement. Next, I'm throwing these discs kind of flat with a little anhyzer on a backhand. The Razor Claw 3 holding a really straight line for about 60% of the flight before fading out. The Mutant obviously fading out, getting down to the ground much quicker. The old MD5 has a decent amount of turn, giving it a little bit more glide than the Razor Claw. And the new MD5, you can see I didn't put as much turn on it, but still similar, still gliding and getting that distance. And throwing these discs on a forehand, flat with a little bit of hyzer angle. The Razor Claw, the slowest of the discs, holding that line very nicely. The old MD5 is able to kind of straighten out a little bit and fly straighter. The new MD5 also fairly similar in between the two. And the Mutant is just going to get to the ground as fast as possible because the disc has absolutely no glide. Moving to some on-the-course shots, the MD5 is going to be great for any kind of forehand approach. Definitely has a shallower feel to the disc now that it doesn't have a bead. But even in windy conditions, you can see here, I've got probably 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, and this disc is fighting them no problem. No signs of turning over, even to straight headwinds. It's able to hold any line that I put it on, which again mostly is just a hyzer going from one direction to the other direction. Usually it sits by the basket, but if you hit the top of the basket, it's gonna skip far away. And there you guys have a few different looks at how the discs fly. To me, I was actually quite surprised at how much glide this disc has without sacrificing over stability. It actually kind of reminds me of the flight of the old MD5 with maybe a touch more stability. It's not as overstable as a Mutant, and it has a little bit more side-to-side action than a slower disc like the Tactic. For me, I'm definitely putting it right in the bag, and it's going to be used for very windy situations where I don't think that my Razor Claw Tactic will be enough disc to get to the basket. This disc will release on June 21st, so make sure to keep an eye out on the Discmania store and your local retailer. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys on the next one.